Welcome to Primos for Life, the wrestling podcast made for the fans, by the fans. Como siempre, yo soy Eddie, el niño vaque. We got Ariel, the Ecuadorian dream bisueta, and we are your self-proclaimed, undisputed co-host tag team champions of the world. And in tonight's episode, we hit the gas with one of wrestling's fastest rising stars. From the WWE Performance Center to tearing it up in the indies, we have the Havana Savage herself in the building, Carolina Cruz. So, como siempre, sit back, grab a snack, and let's get it on! Carolina Cruz. Oh my goodness. This was like, maybe like 10, 11 months in the making. I remember when I first saw you at CCW, and I believe your match was with Aaliyah James. And that's when we first officially met.
Tampa.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I remember that. I've worked there so many times. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, no, but what a fantastic match. You both are incredible in the ring. And the moment I saw your match, I let Ariel know right away. I was like, bro, we got to get these girls on the show. I mean, Carolina is amazing. And, Aaliyah is amazing. But like, I just got so caught up in the excitement because the work that you guys did that night, incredible. So, oh my goodness, flowers to you for being amazing. And in our research, we found out so much. So we can't wait to get into this conversation with you to learn so much more about you. Let our primos and primas, which we call our listeners, get to know you and learn about you, and then kind of get into this wrestling journey. And then I'm going to pass it on to my primo Ariel, because he's going to give you the breakdown on how we're going to go about this and what we're going to do in this conversation. Go ahead, primo.
Thank you. Well, Carolina, first of all, thank you very much for joining us tonight. We really, really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, anytime. We understand that you're very, very busy and it's tough to keep a schedule. So to take a little time out of your day to help us out and do a show with us, we truly, truly appreciate it. And thank you wholeheartedly from the bottom of our heart. So once again, thank you very much for giving us a little bit of your time. So usually what we do here is, standard interview, but we have what we call our staple question sandwich. We start with the same question, we finish with the same question, no matter who our guest is.
Okay.
Whether it's a fan, a ref, talent, anything like that. So, and in between, Eddie and I are just going to shuffle back and forth. Once again, traditional interview style. So the first question that we always kind of start off with, and I always kind of take the lead here, is what is your first memory, core memory of wrestling? Was it a specific event? Was it a specific match? Or was it just like an amalgam of things? Like, because I remember Eddie's is, Kane's debut in the WWE. Mm-hmm. Mine is, I just remember my grandfather watching Lucha Libre, in the living room in the Bronx, and I'd sit down with him and watch it with him. What was your first core memory? Do you remember it, or is it just kind of still a little fuzzy?
Well, I never really watched wrestling growing up. So like, I guess I know. So like, I never knew like how people, got into the business, like how they even started wrestling. Like I didn't even know the indies existed. So I guess my first memory was like when WWE reached out to me like for a tryout. And I was like, no way.
Wow. All right. Well, that's holy cow.
Yeah, I know. It was crazy. I didn't, like I said, I didn't even know how people got into the business or anything like that. So I was like, is this even real? I was a little skeptical because it was in LA,
Mm-hmm.
So, but it ended up being real. So
yeah. LA, you got to be a little wary of offers that come at you, just kind of like, yeah, sure, I work for WWE, or I'm a talent here, or a model agent, or something like that.
Yeah, and you know how Hispanic parents are. Like my parents were like, no, you're not going.
Yeah, right. No, you're gonna be in a room with somebody alone. No.
Like, I know. And then like 4 months later, I'm moving to Orlando. So, it was awesome. I'm glad I went.
Wow. All right. Well, all right. I mean, that's the first that we got, because usually people can go back and pinpoint like the exact moment from when they were watching wrestling when they were little. So to hear,
I wish I could, because I've like fallen in love with it so much. So like, I really wish I did watch it growing up, but I did.
But I mean, that's also got to be kind of interesting now, because you haven't seen certain things. Some things must be different and new, and to hear about things that have happened and to go back and watch them now is probably a little more kind of behind the curtain for you since you know more.
Yeah.
Right.
Huh, great.
Nice. Okay. Well, I mean, kind of segueing into what you mentioned. So, wait. So basically, from my understanding, is your journey started from being in college athletics to ultimately getting recruited by WWE. So, for those that don't know how that process works, can you kind of walk us through that? Like, they just approached you, they liked your look, they actually did they do a deep dive on you? Like, how does that all come together?
So for everybody, it's kind of different. Like some people get a DM on Instagram. Some people will get like a text through their phone if like they have a connection or something.
Right.
One of my like trainers from like high school that trained me for like rugby and flag football and stuff, he trains a lot of like NFL players.
Mm,
And one of
Oh.
the doctors, was actually working with one of the guys that he was training, and they are always, like, recruiting football players, like, men. And he was like, "Oh, like, I have a girl that, like, I think would be down to, like, try it."
Mhm.
yeah.
And so they reached out to me, but I didn't know that he had, like, given my, like, information as a connection, you know?
Right.
Mm,
So they reached out to me, I forgot if it was, like, text or email or something.
mhm,
But yeah, so that's pretty much like how everything started. And they were filming a reality show. So they
yeah.
asked me to like be a part of the reality show after I had like my first interview for the tryout. Cause I was telling them, about how my dad came over from Cuba on a raft, like 7 days in the ocean,
Yeah.
etc. And
Yeah.
then
Wow.
they thought
Jeez.
I'd be like a good candidate for the reality show to kind of
Right.
tell the story, of what is pretty much at stake for me to like get a contract.
Yeah.
And then what happened after that? So that was like February 2023.
Mhm.
Oh,
And
wow.
then in March, they actually flew to Miami and got footage of like my dad and me training and just like a bunch of footage for the show. And then in April was the tryout, WrestleMania tryout in
Oh,
LA.
Oh, wow.
wow.
Oh,
Wow. That seems like
So
a lot.
everything happened so fast and like, the cameras were in my house and my mom's like, "Oh my god, like what's happening?"
did the reality show air? Like what
Yeah, WWE Next Gen. It's
Oh,
on
it was the next gen. Oh, okay, that's what it
Yeah,
Next
was.
yeah.
gen.
Oh,
So
Yeah.
that was Next Gen.
oh, okay. All
Nice,
right.
nice. You know what? And actually, it's pretty crazy because when you started off your statement and you were like, so it's different for everybody. Sometimes it's a DM, sometimes it's a text message. I don't know where my head went, but I don't know. It's like WWE is just like, DMing people. Hey, baby, you trying to join?
Yeah.
like,
Like a late
because
night
when you hear
DM?
Yeah, because
DMs, like
it's like
sliding
the
into DMs
easiest
is like, what?
that's like the easiest way to reach out, you know what I mean? Because
Right,
social
right.
media.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
Yeah,
mean,
but that's where my
everybody's
head
got
went.
social media. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Of
I
course,
was like,
yeah. He
man.
hears DMs,
Because
immediately
when
goes
people
right to the
talk about
toilet.
it, they're like, "Oh, they DM'd me," so
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
It's like, that's
But
crazy to think, hey, hey, you wanna try out, baby girl? Like, what?
I know.
Excuse me, WWE,
yeah, hey,
I
back
like
up.
know.
Back up, I'm seeing someone.
I feel like now if they reach out to me, I'd literally, like, tweak out, you know what I mean? Because now I know the value of what I had,
Right,
Yeah.
so it's like yeah,
well,
I'm thinking
going back
that's
to
smart.
WWE, like, so can you walk us through your first day at the Performance Center and like who kind of helped shape your training early on when you were there?
Well, I guess, like, my first day was kind of pretty typical, like, with training and everything like that.
Mhm.
My first coach there was Robbie Brookside. So he literally taught me how to lock up, like, he's the best. I love
Okay,
him so much.
Nice.
nice.
Yeah, so he taught us, like, all the basics, the importance of, like, doing things the right way and everything like that. And then Norman Smiley as well.
Ah,
Oh,
And then, Johnny Moss, and then Fit Finley,
oh wow.
oof.
and then
Yeah.
Sean Spears.
Oh wow, yes,
Nice.
And,
a bunch. Holy
yeah,
cow.
so now, like, I still train with Sean Spears and Tyler Breeze at Flatbacks
Oh
because
wow.
he's
Mhm.
my last coach that I had when I was at the BC, so
Oh
Yeah.
shit.
Makes
That's I
sense.
mean, those are names. I mean, you've been
I know,
trained by some
yeah,
very, very
they're
solid
all
talent.
amazing.
Has
Yeah.
has anyone given you any particular kind of like advice or anything in particular to be like pitfalls to stay away from or things to kind of gear towards?
Um, Not really, like, everyone is, like, so unique in wrestling, so you kind of, like, have your own style, you know what I mean?
Mm,
And every coach has something different, to offer, so it's pretty amazing to be able to learn from, like, so many people that are literally legends, you
yeah,
know?
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
yeah, sounds
So
For
good.
sure. Yeah, yeah. So now, okay, so then moving a little bit forward into your development, into your career, how did the, Havana Savage persona come to life? And, how much of that is you in real life?
So I feel like all of that is me, so that the Havana Savage is what I came up with, like, at my WWE tryout, because
Okay.
that was, like, my story, you know what I mean? Like, my dad came on a raft, like, I'm his
Right.
only daughter, like,
Yeah.
he wanted me to, like, be an MMA fighter, like, he
Oof.
always, like, viewed me as this, like, tough girl.
Mhm.
So, like, that's the persona that I wanted to portray in the ring, you know what I mean? Like, the Havana Savage.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, no, it makes sense. You are
Yeah,
pretty tough in the ring. Like it's wild. Sometimes you be hitting these girls, and I'm like, "Oh, like relax." You know what I mean? But I mean, you're doing a great job, right? If I'm reacting that way, it's solid for sure. Yeah.
thank
Okay.
you.
Well, all right. So your first professional match, when exactly was that again? Was that 2023? Once again, we
Yeah, that was October 2023. It was actually the Rumble, if I'm not mistaken. It was like the Halloween Rumble,
mhm.
in NXT. I think it
Mm.
was Dade City,
Oh,
if I'm
okay.
not wrong.
Well, no, I mean, well, okay. So can you walk us through, since that was your debut, before, like the thought process going in, during, and post?
Okay, so I mean, I was just like so nervous, but I was also like super excited because I had been training really hard for that moment.
Mm,
But usually like when you come in, you're supposed to come in and like start wrestling right away. And I
okay.
remember like getting up on the ropes like if I was doing an entrance.
Oh man.
It was so funny, but yeah, I mean, it was fun. It was just something fun. I guess like my more serious match after that
Mm-hmm.
would have been, I had a six-woman tag. Um, it was me, Stevie Turner, and Kaya Saint against Thea Hale, Fallon Henley, and Kalani Jordan. So
Yeah.
that was, like, my first, like, big time match pretty much
Mm-hmm.
on the NXT live events, and I think that was, like, in November, December?
Okay. And how, like, how were you feeling going into that match? Being like, okay, this is like
I
not as
was so
fun as the
nervous,
Rumble.
like
Okay.
yeah, I was just so nervous, but it was nice to have, like, some tag partners, cause
Kind of helps alleviate some of
Right.
the weight off
yeah,
of everybody looking at you, and kind of
exactly.
you get to have a second to reprieve and breathe, kind of behind where they're focusing on
Yeah,
everything else.
and then I think my first singles match was against Lola Vice,
Oh,
Mm.
okay. All right.
and that was in Sanford or Orlando.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And what was your mindset after that post match there? Your first singles match, low device. You're like, okay, what are you feeling now that you've done your first singles match professionally?
I definitely felt really good after that match, because I was out there alone, you know what I mean? It was just
Mm,
like me and her and I definitely felt a lot more confident after that match. I was starting to get the hang of things.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Starting to get your rhythm,
Yeah,
because that's what it is. It's very important to get your rhythm. Once you find that, you can kind of keep going along with it.
exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So now, all right, Carolina. So in departing from WWE, right? And heading into the independent scene, right? What was your mindset at that point when, you knew you had to, once you jump into that world, you have to like either rebuild or build your name and reputation a little bit more. So what was your mindset going into that? Like how did you approach that? What were things that maybe some, may have given you advice for, like saying, hey, if you're going to go in the independents, you should probably, knock out A, B, and C first before you do this. Like was there anything like that? Or walk us through that, part of the journey.
So, transitioning from, like, having the mindset of, like, not even knowing that the indies was a thing to, like, being, like, so hungry to and eager to, like, attack the indies because I felt like I had a chip on my shoulder,
Yeah.
like but then at the same time, it was like, I haven't even done anything, you know what I mean? Like, I just got lucky and I got a shot, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Um, to do something that's, like, the best opportunity in the world, you know what I mean? So that
Yeah.
was my mindset, like, leaving WWE. Like, I was so heartbroken, you know what I
Oh,
mean? But then at the
naturally,
same
yeah.
time,
Yeah.
it was like, like, okay, well, now I can just grind on the indies and, like, show that I really love this, you know what I mean? And I think
Mhm.
that's, like, one of my proudest moments as well is, like, choosing to, like, go from, like, having everything to pretty much, like, having nothing, you know what I mean?
Right,
Right.
right.
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was gonna say, I mean, that's everything that we've heard from others, up to this point, they all say that it's almost like a blessing in disguise being on the indies because, you get to learn so many different styles. You get to be quicker on your feet. You get to adapt more. So that way, when you do return to, a WWE or go into like an AEW or a TNA, however, it's like people will look more forward to working with you because your knowledge has expanded at that point. I mean, that's what everybody kind of leads us to believe, once they go from the WWE back to the independents or whatever the case is. So, I mean, I feel
Yeah,
like that's a plus.
yeah. It's cool as well because, like, my trainers have seen, like, my transition, like, Sean Spears and, like, Tyler Breeze, they've seen, like, so much change I can imagine, like, in the past year, And
Yeah.
even, like, my look, like, my hair color and everything like that, I try to always, like, change things up so that, like, the next time people see me, they're like, "Who's that?" And
Yeah.
it's
Right.
so that's always, like, the mindset that I try to have,
I
like,
mean,
not get too comfortable, you know,
Right.
change some things up and
well,
yeah,
yeah, we've also heard that with a lot of talent is that, if you're stagnant, then you're not improving and you get kind of complacent, and that's not where you want to be. You want to keep improving and honing your craft and trying to get bigger pops and everything to just keep moving upwards.
right. Yeah, I
Yeah.
always wanna give myself, like, the 4 college years,
Mhm.
you know? So, I
Full
think right now
experience.
I'm in my sophomore year on the indies.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So, hopefully by my senior year, I'll be signed again,
Well,
There
fingers
you
crossed. I
go.
mean, from everything Eddie's told me, with your in ring performance and abilities, that shouldn't be too far off again. You
Right.
may, hopefully by junior year, you'll be there.
I hope so, I pray.
So, what was your experience like? Because we're talking about the indies. What was your experience like wrestling for promotions like CCW and Shine, comparatively to the biggest promotion in terms of WWE? Like, what was some of the major differences? Some of the similarities? Anything that one had that you didn't like that you prefer to the other?
Um, I guess, like, working at a company, like well, no, I don't know how to answer this question, like
I mean, we're not trying to get you into trouble, but what was just like some of the differences? Not necessarily good or bad, but like I mean,
I
I'm
guess the
assuming.
difference would be like, like training and then also like wrestling for that promotion. Like I didn't train at CCW and then didn't graduate. You know what I mean?
Right.
Mm.
But I mean, the indies are different, from training every single day and then having practice matches. It's just like a whole entire different scene. But obviously, the similarities would be, the wrestling and everything like that. And then
Mm,
also like having Gangrel, he was actually like a producer of mine when I wrestled at CCW. So that was like
Mm.
really cool to have a producer because on the indies, you don't have producers, and like
Yeah.
right.
Gangrel is like awesome. So, CCW made me feel like so much at home. I got to wrestle in Miami in my debut match against Mila Moore,
Mm.
and like the
Oh,
crowd was so hot because I'm from Miami already,
right.
but
Hometown girl made good. Yeah.
yeah. And then at Shine, just like being around all, the women in wrestling that love wrestling so much, like a all women's promotion is so rare, but
Hmm.
Yeah.
at NXT there's like so many women. So that's like a good similarity that I felt, because on the indies you don't see a lot of women's shows or all women's cards, you know, but like
Mhm.
we can do a lot, you know?
Right.
Yeah,
Of course, yeah, absolutely.
of course.
Some, if
So
not better than most.
Yeah.
right, exactly.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. I like how you made that connection. That's actually a really good. I didn't really think about that because you're right.
Yeah,
The women's roster in NXT is very stacked, and
yeah.
that's
And
the parallel
Shine
there.
is, you know, yeah. Yeah, I'm like, how like yeah, that's the most like similarity I can find there.
Okay.
Okay. All right. We love that. So then, you know, going in deeper then. So how was it or how is it? Well, yeah, how was it working with, seasoned veterans in the wrestling game, kind of like people like, like a Su Young or like an Athena, how do you feel like that has helped you grow in the ring? Did it help or, were the nerves there? Like walk us through that.
Yeah, yeah, no, it helped. I mean, I love wrestling like veterans, you know, everybody does
Mm,
because they can just, you know, like they're just so good and you have to keep up with them. You know what I mean? So like
Yeah.
it kind of holds you to a higher standard. And I've trained with a lot of like high level talent, you know, in the performance center and at flatbacks. Like, you know, I train with Kiana James and I've trained with Charlotte Flair and like, you know, they really hold you to like a really high standard. So
mm.
that's what it feels like, you know, going out there and wrestling someone like Su Young and Athena, you know.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, those are names. I mean, I would imagine, yeah, with talent like that, because they're always striving to be the best that they're when they train, they want the exact same from everybody else.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
And actually, what I appreciate about your answer is that, it was very reassuring and brave because I think if I was in your shoes, I think I'd be more nervous to get into a ring with someone that is so seasoned because you don't want to, A, look bad in front of them, but then B, make them look bad. Because even though I guess the thinking is they're so good, they could probably fix whatever's happening.
Yeah.
Still, I would just think like, oh my gosh, like I'm gonna be the one person that they're gonna be like, yeah, I'm never gonna work with that person again. You know what I mean? Like, I don't
Like,
want to
they
be that
are,
guy.
like they are the most, like, humble people because, you know, to be great, you have to make mistakes, you have to go to all those, you know, trials and tribulations, and they all have, so they've all been in my shoes, you know, before,
Yeah.
so that's always really good, you know, to feel, like, that humbleness and confidence, like, from the other side.
yeah.
Oh,
Well,
beautiful.
because I mean, they've been in the same place, so it's that
Exactly,
same
yeah,
thing. You all have that baseline of starting and kind of what that feels
yeah.
like. So yeah, okay. Well, getting into another all female organization, which is Wow Women of Wrestling. You wrestled there as Catalina Speed, right?
Yes.
So how different is she from you, Miss Cruz, Catalina Cruz?
So I feel like we're the same person, just with a different name. I feel like Catalina Speed, though, is a little more NASCAR-y, you know, and
Mm,
Carolina Cruz is more like street, like, you know, a little more gangster, you
Yeah.
know, fast and furious, like, not really like, you know, vroom vroom all the time. Like,
right.
that's like the only difference.
So she's a little slowed down, a little more methodical, maybe a little more kind of
Yeah, and she has to be a little more fast rather than, like, ruthless, you know?
okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I
Okay.
mean that makes sense. Okay.
But if I mean, but to kind of to add on to that question, if you had to pinpoint like the one difference, because there has to be a difference, right? Maybe a hair color, maybe like something. Give me some.
No, I
Well,
think the
she just said she's
difference
quicker.
is
She said,
yeah, 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 like, that's the difference is, like, Catalina Speed is like a NASCAR racer, you know, like she needs to be fast and like super like happy and woo, like, you know, whereas like Carolina Cruz is like, you know,
So she's like heelish. That's
I'm
what it
gonna
yes,
is.
shoot you,
Ah.
shoot you in the face.
yeah.
Don't
See,
look at me like
that's what I'm
that.
saying. More methodical, more yeah, like
Yeah,
yeah.
like more gritty, like, you know, not nice, you know,
I
like
think,
chip on
Okay.
yeah.
your shoulder, here to prove a point, like I'm about
Mean
to
mugging.
take care of
Okay.
you and get out, you know?
Oh,
Done,
okay. Handle
done.
That's
business.
Yeah, yeah.
yes. Yeah.
Apparently,
Yeah, apparently. All right, that's cool. All right, fair enough, fair enough. All right, so then, thus far in your journey, right? What can you say has been your proudest moment in your wrestling career thus far?
I would say choosing to, like, keep wrestling after I got released. That
Yeah.
that is my proudest moment.
Right.
Yeah, no, but that's a
'Cause
good
that
one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the fight on, because I mean, so many people would be absolutely, demoralized after something like that happens. So to be able to pick yourself up and do something like that has to feel
yeah,
amazing. And then to have the success that you're having on these indies, I mean, it must feel amazing.
yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, no, and he's right. I mean, just to kinda add on to that, I mean, I literally believe I've heard this past week on one of the interviews that John Cena did, but he was talking about, the performance center, and he was saying how the process worked. It's like they put all the trainees through so much to in essence, weed, whoever can't handle it out. And then, once you get down to like the final few folks that make it to the main roster or move on, you could see who either gives up or continues on to the indies and comes back greater than ever. You know what I mean? I mean, you hear so
Exactly.
many stories of people that have left, but they do incredible things on the indies and come back better than ever. You know what I mean? So
And
yeah,
you
that
never know, like, you never know really what it is that you were lacking. I think that's, like, the hardest part,
yeah.
but it also comes down to, like, casting, you know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
what if there was already, like, a Cuban girl on TV and they didn't need me? They didn't need
Right.
2 of them, you know what I mean? Like, you just never know, like, what it could have been, you know? The only thing that I know is that I was just gonna keep working harder and, like, you know, get my stuff down.
That's
Yeah,
right.
and we're glad
Yeah.
you did, for sure, like, we're
Yeah.
glad you're still doing it because it is fun watching you. I like, again, like I tell Ariel all the time, I've seen you in CCW, I've seen you in Shine. I tuned into the WoW to see Miss Catalina Speed, and, I mean, the hits that you take and that you give, I mean, I texted you the day that I saw that video from the WoW match where you got hit in the face, and I was like, "Are you okay?" Because that looked
Yes, the
rough.
wrestling gods were with me that day because I was okay. I
Yeah,
literally wrestled, like, 20 minutes after that.
Oh
yeah.
man.
Wow.
Jeez.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That and those shots to the face, they got to sting. Oh man, I can't. Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
20
yeah.
minutes. Good for you. Good for you.
But I
Oh,
don't know, I don't know if people know that I used to play rugby, so, like, it's
well,
been worse for me.
yeah, and
Oh,
well, now they do. So that's, I mean, yeah. And so
Yeah.
you knew that going in, kind of, because you've been in those scrums and who knows what, like down there, people are just poking eyes and gouging and
Mhm.
grabbing body parts and twisting and things. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. I know. I had a
Baby
friend.
matches.
Oh,
yeah.
no, no, thank you. Props to you. Props to you on that one. I just, oof, girl, damn. Well, okay, so you mentioned rugby, because that's how you got into athletics, or where you played in college, and kind of that guided you here with the one
Yes.
coach that you mentioned. So what hobbies outside of wrestling do you do to kind of keep yourself balanced, to give a little work-life balance to yourself? Like personally, what do you like to do outside to just kind of ease the tension, release, relax, outside of just ultimately relaxing? Like,
Yeah.
People always ask me, like, what my hobbies are, and, like, I like to, like, cook and clean.
Hey,
great, great.
nothing wrong.
You like
Like,
to keep you
that
like to
is,
keep a
like, my
house. That's
peace, like,
awesome. Yeah.
cleaning the house, you know what I mean? Like, that's what makes me feel, like, at peace, like, when my environment is, like, cleaned up and organized,
Nothing wrong with that.
it doesn't feel like a chore to me, like, I
No.
really enjoy it.
Well, I mean, because you can't be clear minded everywhere else if the one place that you lay your head isn't clear.
Yeah,
Like
Exactly.
it's in shambles.
if that's a mess, how are you going to be clear anywhere else? So that answer totally makes sense. And
Yeah,
it's funny because my wife is the same way. She When she cooks, she's in the zone. Like, and she's chilling and
literally.
she's good. She loves to do that stuff. So
Yeah. No, my
yeah.
boyfriend loves it, that's, like, my favorite hobby, you know?
Yeah, I love it too. Trust me.
A lot of women are like, "I hate cooking and cleaning,"
No,
and I'm like, "I
it's
like it."
really hard to not put on a bunch of weight when she's just like in a really good mood and cooking. I'm just like, oh girl, you gotta stop because
Yeah, let's see how long he'll maintain skin like this with all the food that I make. No, I'm just
Oh, man, no.
so wait, okay, so on that, what would you say your best dishes that you make?
Mhm.
like a ropa vieja.
Ah,
Ooh,
Yeah, that's, like, his favorite too.
wow.
I've
okay,
only made it, like, twice,
really? Okay,
Oh,
so
man.
for the primos and primos who don't know, or anyone who's not, can you break down the ropa vieja for our listeners, please?
so it's pretty much like a shredded beef in, like, a tomato sauce, kind of, you know?
Yeah.
Over rice, con arroz.
over
Oh
rice
man,
and
yeah.
tostones.
Oh yes, yes. Oh, love a
You
good
just
ropa
gotta
vieja.
try it.
Love a good
Yeah.
ropa vieja.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I used to live downtown in the village in New York, and there was a Cuban restaurant like 2 blocks away, and me and my roommate would go, and he'd always get the ropa vieja because it was just
Yeah.
Yeah.
so good there, and it was so all right, okay. So if you
Oh,
make a
man,
mean
now I'm
ropa vieja,
hungry.
that's your boyfriend's gonna watch this and be like, babe, make a ropa vieja, please.
I know, really.
You know what? Okay, side question, right before we continue this, because now you got, Ariel likes to do this. He'll throw some curveballs in there, but now I got to add on to the curveball.
Let's go.
Okay.
So, I mean, and feel free to share, right? You don't have to share who it is, right? But your boyfriend is also in the business,
Yeah.
and obviously your relationship is out there and stuff like that. Beautiful couple, awesome.
Thank
Um,
you.
my question to you is, how is he? Learning the culture, right? Because, for example, like my wife, she's African American, pero she loves Latino culture. So she's learning Spanish. She loves to dance salsa. She listens to more bachata in the house while she's cooking than I do. I'm the one that likes to listen to like the R&B and soul and the hip hop and stuff like that. But no, she's downstairs like, valió la pena. And she's like, "Na-na-na," you know what I mean? So that's what
Oh,
she does.
wow, that's crazy.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
she gets in the zone when she's in the zone.
Yeah.
So to that question for you, has he embraced the culture? Latino, does he know Spanish? Like, fill us in, please.
So I guess he's, like, trying to learn a little bit because my
Right.
dad doesn't speak English, so, like, they have to
Oh,
communicate, like, somehow, some way, but
Mhm.
they always, like, communicate through energy, like,
yeah.
that's what I always, like, feel. Um, but yeah, I mean, he loves the food, like, he's not
Mhm.
a picky eater or anything like that. He loves the music, but he's kinda, like, chill,
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
that's good. That's good. As long as he tries. Like I tell
Yeah.
my wife, there's only one rule, right? Like you try once, and if you don't like it, you never have to try it again. Because at
Right.
least I know you tried it and gave it a shot. So as long as he's
Exactly.
like that, then it's all good.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
I mean, that's a rule to live by for everything.
Yeah.
You can't complain about something if you haven't tried it, right? Like
Right.
you gotta
Exactly.
try it. That's exactly what I tell my son the same thing too. When he's like, I don't like that. I'm like, you haven't even tried it. Try it once, and if you don't like it, and then usually 9 times out of 10, oh, daddy, that's good. Yeah,
Mhm.
what's wrong with you?
Literally, they just don't like how it looks, so they're not gonna
Right.
eat it.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Okay, entonces, Carolina, so back on track to your journey, right? So you did mention like it's kind of like high school, like you're going through the stages, or you feel like once you get to your junior senior year that you'll feel like you'll be at the next level. Pero we always like to ask some of the talent, like their 5-year plan. So from this point on, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Both in and out of the ring. You know what I mean? Like share some, real life, person goals, and then your wrestling career goals. Like where do you see that?
So, I wanna give myself, like, maybe 2 or 3 years to, like, really grind and see kind of where I end up in wrestling.
Okay.
Um, I feel like you can never plan it, you just have to grind and, when opportunity presents itself, jump on kinda
Right.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of
Um,
course.
but I also, like, really wanna get married and have kids, so hopefully that will be happening in the next 5 years too.
Nice.
So that's, like, a big goal of mine as well. There's, like, a bunch of wrestling moms,
Mhm.
like Cassie Lee and, like, Jessie McKay and all them, so, like and they train at Flatbacks too, so it's really cool to, like, see how they had kids and then, like, they continue to do it, you know?
Right. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it's easier when you have someone right in front of you that's done it, and that you can
Right.
pick their brain and kind of see that it is possible, and that
Yes.
it,
Yeah.
while it is strenuous and got to be very, very difficult, because I mean, having a child, me as a bartender, is tough, and I drive to work 40 minutes, 30 minutes, so to be on the road and traveling stuff like that, that's got to be a little more difficult. So to see that they do that is something that you definitely kind of would like to aspire to, I would imagine.
Yes.
Well, we're about to get to the end of the staple question sandwich, but before we do, I do want to throw in a curveball question here.
Oof.
Okay.
So,
Another one.
yeah, well, another one. This is not another one. This is, well, I mean, I have did a couple add-ons, but those were just add-ons.
Oh,
So,
okay.
all right. So, you're for the rest of your career, right? There's
Mhm.
only one song that you can that you can come out to before, or no, that you can come out to or listen to before every match to get you hyped? What is that song?
So as my entrance or before the match?
Let's do both.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a tough one. It's a tough one.
Yeah.
So as my entrance song, it would always be Pa que retosen by Tego Calderon.
Tego Calderon.
Yeah, like that will always be my entrance song. Like I will choose that forever.
Dope. Okay. And what's your hype song? What's your get hype song?
Probably like Sweet Dreams.
Sweet Dreams?
Like the sweet dreams are made of
Yeah.
Ah.
I like music like from the 70s and 80s, like
nice.
or like When Doves Cry.
A little Prince.
Wow.
I mean,
like something like that. Like
and for your age, I was not thinking you were gonna go Eurythmics or Prince on me. Like that was
no, like those
solid.
kind of songs get me like hype, you know?
Yeah, and it's I'm kind of the same way too, where it doesn't have to be like a headbang, like whatever, like sometimes just the song, the presence, knowing the lyrics, feeling,
like some
getting the
good
emotions,
music, like
right?
really classic music that like there's an emotional connection. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like not the music nowadays.
Right. No. Oh gosh. Don't even get me started on that.
I'm about to say, don't turn on the old guys because we'll be like, back in my day, it was real music.
Yeah.
On a CD Walkman, right?
You kidding me? I had cassettes.
Oh, gosh, that's gross.
All right. Well, Carolina, then that would bring me to the end of the bottom of the staple question.
Wait, no, I want a curveball question.
Go ahead.
And this one's actually not for you, Carolina. It's for Catalina Speed, right? This question is for her. Ooh. If you could race one wrestler in a real street race, who would you pick and why?
Probably Rhea Ripley.
Whoa.
Swinging high. She'd
be hard to beat. Like, she's tough.
Yeah.
But you can pull it off. You kind of speed. You got this.
I know, but I want a tough opponent, you know?
Naturally, of course. It's not fun to go against. Yeah, you want to go against someone you could beat easily. That's no fun. Like, no, you want to test yourself.
Yeah.
I like that one. That was good.
All right. Well, Carolina, then. So the end of the stable question sandwich, is pretty basic. So your dream match. You know, you're wrestling, you know, in WWE or whatever promotion you want, your dream match. Who is it against? Both current wrestler and a legend. Because we're assuming it's for a title at like Mania. Yeah. But who is the dream opponent? Or wherever. So who's the opponent currently and who is the legend?
The opponent currently, Rhea Ripley again.
Okay. Ooh. Yeah, that's it. No, once again.
It's a lot of height,
swinging for the fences. Yeah, it's what? Rey Mysterio made a career out of it. What do we got?
He's so good.
That's it.
And all time, probably Natalya.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a good choice.
Now wait a second. Is it Natalya or Natty?
Yeah. Because that Natty persona is coming in.
I want good old Natalya.
You want good old Natalya? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
Natty. I like Natty though.
Natty's a beast.
I like Natty too. I'm down with that. Those promos with Maxine is fire. I love it.
I know.
Oh man. Okay. So wait. So now, you know, as a pro, right? Because we always like to ask the pro this question. You know, in the interest of storytelling, who would go over in each match?
I feel like it would depend, like what the story is.
Right, but I mean, I'm saying like who in that match with Rhea, who do you think would go over? And then in Natty's, who do you think would go over?
Well,
or what would you want?
Two legends, so you know, I think it would be them.
Right.
Oh, he's so humble.
But I agree with her. It depends on the storyline. Like, I mean, if she's fought, you know, Rhea a couple times already, and this is the hype.
When the day comes, I guess.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. That could change by the day.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I only ask because, like, you know, I feel like a Natty would want to put you over because she's always, you know, helping the future out. You know what I mean? So I feel that's the approach that I was thinking. But I guess you're right. I guess storyline matters.
For submissions, though.
She's technically sound. That would be a good one. You guys would be on the mat for a long time, just reversing moves and swapping out. That'd be dope. That'd be a dope.
I just want to learn a lot, you know. when I
Yeah.
can wrestle them one day.
Yeah. Oh man, that'd be amazing. Bueno, Carolina, we want to, first of all, we want to thank you again for giving us the opportunity to get to know you, learn about you, have an awesome conversation, let our primas and primas, hear about your journey and
That's
what it
right.
takes, and finding out that WWE just hits people up in the DMs, that whole thing. No, but all joking aside, we are truly grateful for this time that you have given us. And we want to give you this time, and this opportunity to go ahead and let our primos and primas, our listeners, know where they could find you. Like if someone's listening to this episode and, gets encouraged to take that step to go into wrestling, like, where can they find you, your social medias, your emails, or they want to, see your first match or anything to you that's connected to you, please. The floor is yours. Let us know
Yeah.
where they can find you.
Yes. So on Instagram, Twitter, or X now, Carolina Cruz _era.
Okay.
I think that's the best way to find me. You can
Yeah.
search on YouTube as well, Carolina Cruz. But yeah, that's where you can find me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, right.
All
Well,
right.
Carolina, in backing up what Eddie said, I also want to take a moment to thank you once again for giving us your time, as we know it's very valuable, and also to thank you because the one thing that Eddie and I say all the time, and in starting this podcast when we did Primos for Life, is that representation matters and counts.
Mhm.
And the fact that you're out there representing Latinos as a people, as a culture, we truly, truly appreciate that because
Yeah.
that's something that that's part of the reason we all wanted to do this as well. We realized that there wasn't a lot of spots where people were talking about a lot about it, and so we wanted to give
Yeah.
the opportunity to bring on talent such as yourself, so that
Yeah.
people can also get to learn the talent behind, who's coming in the ring. Get to know the person, get to actually hear some of the stories, and see that you're more than just what you portray in and out of the ring. So once again, wholeheartedly thank you for representing the Latino culture and doing it in such a positive and great way. We do want to thank you for that.
Yeah, for
Thank
sure.
you. Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah. No, thank you so much. And you have yourself a wonderful night. We'll be in touch.
The
And
pleasure was all ours. And please feel free to come back whenever
yes,
you want. The
we
door is
Yes,
definitely
always open.
I will.
we
If you
definitely
ever
want to
want
talk
to,
to you junior and senior year to see.
yes,
Yes, for sure. We can
yes,
reflect.
Let's get it.
fantastic. Also, if there's ever like a PLE or something you want to discuss or a match that you saw that you just kind of want to chat about, hit us up. We're more than welcome. Please.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Cool.
All right.
Awesome. All right,
Thank you,
Carolina, you're the
guys.
best.
Oh,
Thank you
thank
so
you very
much.
muchísimas gracias. Thank you so
I'll
much.
see you next time at CCW or Shine.
Let's
Probably in
go.
February, March.
Yes. Wow, we will be there.
Perfect.
See
Looking
ya.
forward to it. Looking forward to it. Gracias.
Take care, Carolina.
Thank you guys.
Got it.
Bye.
Bye.
Whew. Man, that wow. that was man. I mean, you know what? Um, I guess the best way to say it is what I appreciate about her gangsterness, right? Because she's gangster. I mean, let's
Uh-huh.
just leave it at that. Straight to the point. She
Yeah.
she takes us through it. She walks us through it and lets us know, like what happened at the PC, how she felt. And you know what? It might have been a little bit different for us, but we definitely appreciate, the transparency and the ability to be able to
Heck yeah.
see, like to your point, another Latina, another Latino talent to be able to show that we're just more than just, again, Mexican, Puerto Rican. No, we got a Cubana that was repping hard, doing it for her family, for her father,
Right.
her story, her struggle, the
His
Havana
story.
Savage. You know what I mean?
Coming over on the raft, like I
Yeah.
mean that's I can't even begin to imagine what that must be like, so to
Yeah.
be able to, as a father, to have his daughter come and do this, and then with the experience and all the success that she's had and
Yeah.
having, I think for him is probably wonderful, and even better for her to be able to show him like you struggled, and now this is the payoff. Like, look at what I'm achieving because you took that and did it. So that's, yeah, no, it's a wonderful, man. She's great. So like you said, she was quick, she's honest, like she's to the point, like this is what it is. And I dig that, man. I was down. She's great.
Yeah.
I can't wait to hopefully have her back.
Yeah, man. I'm pretty sure we were talking to Catalina Speed because she was going, "Bop, bop, bop, bop." You know what I mean?
Rapid fire, rapid fire.
Yeah, no, but she's awesome. And I'm excited. I'm excited. I love her answer in regards to like the high school reference, right? The 4-year thing,
Right.
right? Because I think that's really it's almost like a 5-year plan, but obviously she's trying to really get to that junior and senior year, really, really knock it out the park because she does a tremendous job in the ring. I tell you all the time at Shine, she hits hard, she executes. I forget the person that she was going against, pero I knew that she was the real deal when something looked like it was about to go wrong,
Mhm.
and she was quick enough and smart enough to know how to kinda, like, maneuver and make sure everything got executed safely. You know what I mean? And that's very important.
I mean, yeah, that's keeping yourself and your opponent safe is rule number one in that ring.
Yeah.
Is,
So,
is making sure that safety is most paramount. So that's great, and to have the presence of mind to do something like that, especially at a woman at such a young age, is showing
yeah.
maturity level like that is fantastic. It's great. So good for years to come. Because if she's already that smart now, then it's only going to get wiser.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure, man, for sure. Bueno, primo, let's go ahead and take this opportunity to go ahead and what do we do here?
What do we do here? We thank everybody. We want to say thank you to everybody for listening, liking, sharing the full nine. This is a fun run. Eddie and I always say it. It's a lot more fun when you guys are with us, liking anything, the comments, the reels, the posts, all the fun stuff. We really, really appreciate it because we're seeing the growth. We see more and more followers and adders. So please guys, share, go to primosforlife.com. It will tell you wherever we are when you get to that particular page or platform. Smash the like button, the subscribe button, whatever. Share with friends, DM us if you have a comment, even if it's good or bad. Hey, we have to take the bad with the good, right? So please feel free, reach out to us. We are down to converse, down to respond, just talk about it all. So once again, we thank you guys wholeheartedly because we couldn't do this without you.
Yeah. Ditto. Entonces, primo, como siempre.
Considering you had nothing to say before, ditto I think works. Once again, everybody, thank you so much. Thank you very much to Carolina Cruz for a wonderful interview. Hopefully we'll be seeing her soon. Please go check her out. I believe it was Carolina Cruz _era at Instagram and X. Once again, thank you guys. We couldn't do this without you. We will see you when we see you.
Yeah, we will see you when we see you. Take care, everyone.
Good night.